Hello everybody and welcome to the next section in our Python ethical hacking course. Now in the previous section what we did is we managed to code our command and control center, which can actually take multiple connections and navigate through those sessions as we please. But right now what we will focus on is a little bit of network attacks and website attacks, such as stealing Wi-Fi passwords, such as for example brute forcing any website with a login page, such as brute forcing Gmail, basically discovering hidden directories, subdomains, spidering certain websites, and so on and so on. Since most of those actually belong to the website penetration testing section, we'll start off with a simple Wi-Fi password steal that you can upload to any actual Windows PC and get any passwords from that certain Windows PC for any Wi-Fi that they connected to. Now how we can do that is basically if you open up your command prompt, there is a certain actual command that you can run for discovering the actual Wi-Fi passwords saved on that specific target. So if you just type here netsh VLAN show profile, if you have a wireless adapter, what this will do is it will print out all the profiles or all the Wi-Fi hotspots that you connected to previously. As you can see, since this is my home PC, I really only have one of those. Now these two are not even real actual Wi-Fi hotspots. These are just some of the evil twin hotspots I created before. Doesn't even matter. The real one is this one, and this is my home wireless network. In order to actually get the key from that, or key or password or however you want to call it, from that specific Wi-Fi network, you need to type the command netsh VLAN show profile, then space, and you need to specify the network name of that specific actual wireless network. So this, in my case, you can specify any you want in your target machine or in your personal home machine, as I do right now. But if you don't have a wireless on your main PC, this will not work. Of course, this command will not actually get any output. You need to have a wireless adapter in order for this to work. So the next thing would be key equals clear. What this does is basically this command says that we want to get the password printed out in clear. And as you can see, let me just clear and run it once again so you can see it a little bit better. And as you can see here, the information for the wireless hotspot that I chose. This is its name, and if you go down here, you can find the security settings such as authentication, which is WPA to personal, cipher is TKIP, present is a security key, which basically means that we have a security key or a password, and the key content is the actual password itself, which is for my wireless, this one. So that is how you can find an actual wireless password if you have access to someone's computer. But let's see how we can automate this process with an actual Python program. So let us close this. What we will need for this actual program is two things. Well, first of all, I got the first one, which is the actual regex pattern for discovering only the key or getting only the key from this output of the entire command. And the next one, you will need an email address where you can send the output to. Now you don't have to send it to an email, you can just write it to a file, save it on some PC, or you can even implement this in your actual backdoor that we coded. So for example, if someone in our backdoor as a user runs get wireless key, then you write a simple function that will give back the actual key in clear and send back to us. But for now on, all we want to do is just code a simple program that will send it to an email. So right here we go to the Python programs. We can just make email in this non-specific directory, so Wi-Fi steal.py. We start off with our regular line, which is user bin Python, and there are three things we want to import. One of them is our normal subprocess library, which we will use in order to execute the actual commands in our command prompt terminal. The next one is smtplib, and we also need re, which is basically regex, which allows us to specify a pattern for the output of the command, which will only strip out the password itself. So basically what we want is the actual name of the actual wireless and then the password for that wireless. So we can do that simply with using these three libraries. Now you don't need to import it like this. You can import it one beneath another, but it doesn't even matter. So what we want to do right now is actually specify the actual command. So you can just type here command equals, and then the same command that is specified in our command prompt. Now that command goes netsh vlan show profile. This is the actual beginning of the command that we want to send. And also the first command that we want to send. Now we will be sending these two times. First of all, or the first time, we will only send this part right here, which will give us an output of all the available wireless hotspots that were previously connected to with our wireless adapter. And then from that output of that command, what we will do is we will strip out all the actual networks and profiles and send it back to our actual email. So in order to do that, if you just check out right here, if you open up command prompt once again and type this command, you will see what the output is. So netsh vlan show profile. Oops, profile netsh. For some reason it won't find any VLAN profile. Let me just see if I specified everything correctly. Okay, so I'll just plug in and unplug my wireless adapter. And right now, if we just run it once again, oh, it says the following command was not found. Okay, so I actually mistyped something, or didn't mistype, I just forgot netsh vlan show profile. Okay, so here it is. Not really sure what the difference between this and this is, but okay, so I was missing an I. Doesn't even matter. What we want to get is this part right here. So we want to get the actual name of the actual fields right here, so we can use it in a second command that we specify netsh vlan show profile, and then the name, and then key equals clear. So in order to be able to execute this command, we need to get the name of these networks. And for each of those names, we want to get the password. So we need to strip out the names, and we will do that with regex. But right after we actually get the networks with the output of this command. So what we will do, we will use subprocess library. So subprocess.check_output. We will run the command and shell equals true. And what this networks variable right here will have is it will have the output of this command, which is just all those profiles with the name of the actual wireless hotspots. And now we want to name to create an actual list which will contain all of those names. So network underscore list equals basically you need to use the regex library right now. I believe we used it before in order to create some pattern for something before. I can't really remember what lecture that was, but we want to use a simple function find all, which will find everything in a specific variable, which we will separate by comma. So just type here networks is our variable, and it will find it by specifying this pattern between the single or double quotes. And this is the pattern that we need. So question mark, 2 dots, profile, then backslash, and then s star, and then basically 2 dots, backslash, pardon me, where is my backslash? Okay, so here it is, and then s, close the actual, the bracket, right bracket, and here I forgot to open the actual left bracket, so just like this. And then afterwards, we need to open bracket once again, type dot, then this star sign, and then close the bracket. Now, if you want to, you can actually just go, not really sure what the website is called, but you can go and just type Python regex, and there is a website that you can just simply paste the output of your command and experiment with the actual regex until you get the output that you desire. So you can do that, just let's type Python regex. Let's wait for this to actually load, and I believe it will be some of the first websites we will see in just a second. Regular explosion operation. how to, let's go with the first one. Import all, okay, but this is just the actual. Let us go and find where we can actually test it. Wait, here it is, Python regular expression editor. So, okay, so a quick way to test your regular expressions. So, right here, or pardon me, right here you will specify the output of the actual command. So let's actually find this on my Windows 10 machine, Python regex. We go and find it wherever it is. Or let me just check out what the actual name of this website is. So pytex.org. So let's just go Pytex. Hopefully it will find it. Here it is. And right here we can paste the output of this actual command. So let's copy it, Control C, paste it right here. And right now, if you just go right here, let me just close this, we don't need it. And you run this string right here. Let me just lower this so you can see everything. Okay, just like this. And in the regular expression, you type the specified string that we specified right here. Then we want to get the 2 dots, profile. Let me just switch this to English keyboard so I can actually get everything as before. Backslash S, then star sign, then the 2 dots, then backslash S once again, then closed parentheses, open parentheses once again, dot, and then star, and then close parentheses once again. And here you can see what the actual output or matches are, which are just the names of the actual profiles. And you can see that this will be our list containing these 3 elements right here, and we will send the output for those 3 elements, or for those 3 elements, to the actual email that we specify. So let us go back to our Python. We specify the regex pattern correctly, and all we have to do right now is iterate. So we will just type here output equals and then the empty string, and for the actual network, in a network list underscore list. So for each network or for each wireless hotspot in this list, what we want to do is first of all run the command to be equal to netsh, not capital N, so netsh plan show profile, then space, make sure to add space right here. So we want to concat this network right now, and then plus, and then open double quotes, space, key equals clear. And this is the command that we want to execute next. So we will just do the one network result will be equal to subprocess dot check underscore output. And let me just go open and close this. And we want to check the output of the command right here. Or if it is easier for you, let's call this command 2 and let's call this command 1. And here we want to check the output of the command 1, and here we're checking the output of the command 2, comma, and then the actual shell equals true as we usually specify right here. And then we want to concat that to the actual final output, so let's call this final output so you can understand everything better. Final underscore output plus equals 1 underscore network underscore result. Okay, and all we have to do right now is either you can choose to write this to a file if you want to save it on the target PC for some reason, or you can actually send this to an email. So in order to send it to an email, it is rather simple. There are just a few lines that we need to code. We need to create first of all server. So server will be smtplib.smtp. We will use Google Email Services, so smtp.gmail.com, pardon me, Gmail, and then at the port, we want to select the port 587. We want to start the TLS encryption, so server server.start TLS, open and close brackets, as this is an actual function from the SMTP library. And then you want to log into your email. So server.login. In the brackets here you will specify the email, and here you will specify the password. So basically once you specify the email and the password, which I will do later on, so I don't actually show the email and the actual password, then you want to send this email to yourself. So server.sendMail is the function, and then in these brackets right here you need to specify the actual email, the email from who are you sending, the email to who are you sending, and also the message itself. So in our case we are sending the final output, then we are sending from my own email to my own email. So I will just specify here my email to my _email, as well as here. Now this is not something that you need to type right here. These are variables that we can actually paste to this function, which I will do later on. And then basically the next thing, or the third thing, is the message itself, which is final_output in my case. Okay, so basically afterwards all you have to do is quit the server and you will finish successfully this program. So let's save it. Or if you want to add it and test it right here, after you compile it, you can just set the my email variable to be equal to raw_input, and then you can just input the email itself. So enter email to send to, which is really no point to do that because this is something that you will run on target PC. You don't want to prompt the target anything, but for the test purposes you can just leave this, and then this my email will be replaced in these functions right here, and then it will send the actual email. You also need the password, since we specified right here the password. So this would be a password to the email that you are sending to. So raw_input, enter email to send to, and then you would save this, compile it, enter the email, and then you will receive the email. So I will test this in just a second, but first of all I will delete these two lines as we don't need it. I will replace the my email and this my email, or all three my emails, with the actual real email, and the password with the actual real password, and then I will get to record once again in order to show you how it works. Okay, so right now all we have to do is actually compile this, but before we compile, we need to make sure that the actual SMTP_lib library and RE library are installed in PyInstaller. Now, I'm not really sure if they are default libraries. Most likely they are, but let us just check just in case. So root.wine, or drive C, Python 27, python.exe, -m pip install smtp_lib. Let's see if we have this installed, or do we need to install it. We will also check for the regex library, but I believe regex comes pre-installed for sure, but we will check it just in case so we don't compile it twice. And then we will compile the Wi-Fi still and run it on our Windows 10 machine. What we should get to on our email is the actual password for the wireless hotspot that I have right here at home. So smtp_lib is installed, RE is probably installed as well, and then we can compile the actual program. Okay, so it is already satisfied. Let us compile the Wi-Fi still.py. So wine, root, wine, drive C, Python 27, scripts, then PyInstaller, pardon me, one file, no console, and Wi-Fi still.py. Let's let this compile while we plug in our USB drive. Okay, our USB drive is plugged in. Let's wait for this to finish. It has finished. Go to the disk directory, move Wi-Fi still.exe to media root Kali live. Then we can unplug our USB drive, go on our Windows 10 machine, we can paste it on our actual desktop and we can run this file. And for some reason this has failed to execute. Let us see why. Oops. Well, the reason why this doesn't work is probably something because of my Windows 10. Let's try to run it once again. Okay, if we go right here, we didn't really receive anything. It's a little bit weird, but okay, it doesn't even matter. We can try to run it. I wonder what happens if we actually try to run it in the Kali Linux, even though we don't really have an actual a netsh VLAN show profile return non-zero exit status. So that is good, because if you just type your netsh VLAN show profile, it will say command not found, because it is only on Windows, so that's why it doesn't work on Linux. But let me just check something out. Why it didn't work on our Windows machine is because of my adapter, probably, because it sometimes wants to connect and sometimes it doesn't want to connect, and this command right here probably couldn't retrieve the actual VLAN show profile, which will show the entire profiles of the actual wireless itself. So what we will try in the next video. Now I'm pretty sure that this will work on any other PC probably. If it doesn't, we will in the next video code the different version anyway, which will just save this to a file. Then you can, as I said before, implement this to an actual backdoor and read from that file and send the actual output to your server. So I hope I see you in the next video, and take care. Bye.